This is still iBrand Daybreak and a beautiful sunny Friday morning in Lagos, Nigeria. What's the weather like wherever you are? It's sunny right here in Lagos, and trust me, we're enjoying the weather. Right now, we are going to the discussion of the day, I don't know if I'll call it a total package for you. I'll just start off with parenting as a fulfilling job comes with its challenges. Modern family life can be stressful and with various pressures. Ultimately, parents want what's best for their children. Earlier this week, Nollywood actress Ireti Doyle released a disclaimer to distance herself from her daughter's business, Kachi Beauty Products. Now, there's been reports that the actress Dr. Ngozi Kachi Abimbola Onyulo has allegedly scammed several victims with her empowerment scheme. However, Ireti Doyle took to her Instagram page to state that she has zero affiliations with the business and was only related to the proprietor of the business as her mother. There has been different reactions to this, but the question is, will you take the route of sending a disclaimer if your child's behavior or attitude is rubbing off on your brand negatively? And that's a question we'd like you to share your thoughts on our social media platforms and also on the live chat below. But right here in the studio to help us share this thoughts, share her thoughts, and dissect this topic, we have our own Omobolani Adeshoyi. Good morning, Bolani.
Good morning, Margaret.
How are you?
Very well. Good morning, Mike.
Radiant smile.
You look it. There's no point
There's
asking.
no point asking.
I look radiant, yeah.
Yeah, from the yellow to the blue glasses and everything. Amazing. All right, Omobolani, with the issue with Ireti and her daughter, the last part of my comment we said, would you distance yourself from your child if the attitude is putting a stain on your white? I want to use that word because she is a public figure. So what do you think about the whole issue?
You know, you started by saying that parenting comes with its challenges.
Correct, yeah.
And one of the challenges is the fact that you have to, while protecting your child, you also want to protect your name. Yes, I know that, because if you look at the whole situation of this Ireti Doyle and her daughter, you'd realize that the father has not been mentioned. It's the mother. So a lot of responsibility comes to the mother when the child is not living up to his or her standards. And
Yeah, but I want to chip in something there. Yeah, the father's name was not mentioned, probably because he wasn't the father of
Ngozi Kachi.
Yeah.
he wasn't the father.
Yeah, Ireti had her
before
she got married.
Yes, but she has a father,
case.
doesn't she? She has a father.
We don't know that the one you're talking about.
What I'm saying is,
Yeah, I understand what she's saying.
two people came together to produce the child.
Right.
Yeah, I understand what she's coming
So
from.
two people should be responsible. But we know that in this society, it's the mother that usually bears the brunt.
Yeah.
When the child, they say the good
Misbehaves.
child is for the father, the bad child is for the mother. So that narrative is common. But you see a situation where the child is not the child. Okay, so I know that from the look of things, a lot of people have been saying that for her to come out to put out that disclaimer, it means that she must have done some background jobs of telling the daughter, pay back these people, stop tarnishing my image, do the right thing and all that. And then because she herself responded to a lot of people saying, do you do everything your mother tells you? So it means that, yes, I've been talking to this girl, she hasn't listened to me. So the next thing to do is to protect my image. It's some kind of tough love, if you ask me. So love comes with chastisement sometimes. So she just had to do that to protect her image. But you know, some people will tell you that protecting your image, she's blood is thicker than water. And so no matter what someone you claim to love does, you have to still stand by the person. But there has to be a line drawn. When you begin to tell your child what to do and the child doesn't do it, you have to take the tough path of, you know, distancing yourself, as she has done now, distancing yourself.
It's not an adult child, more like it's a minor.
Exactly, 34 years old. She's not a baby.
A baby, yeah.
She's not a baby, so she knows her left from her right. And a lot of people have been saying that they patronized this girl because of her mother. Because Ireti Doyle,
of her mother's endorsements.
yes, she had endorsed this girl from the initial stage. In fact, there were some people saying that she actually backed up the girl when they complained that this girl has been defrauding us. So you see that it's a lot of issues mixed together, but she just had to take that tough stand. I saw the tweet of what's his name now, Shoyombo, Fisaya Shoyombo, the investigative journalist, who said that just make sure your daughter pays up. And that's the stand a lot of people are taking, saying, just tell this girl to pay up. But she responded and said, do you do everything your mother tells you? Saying that I've talked to her, I've done everything.
She didn't listen.
She said that those who are aggrieved should go to the appropriate quarters. But I also believe that maybe she should go beyond talking to her daughter. Maybe she should also involve those authorities.
As a mother,
as a mother.
Well,
yeah, it might be tougher than putting out the disclaimer, but desperate situations call for desperate measures.
You see, the case of Ireti Doyle and her daughter Kachi is that of ownership of a God-given child and rejection or denial of negativity in all its ramifications. Okay, Ireti Doyle, from her body language, what I read from it is that Ireti Doyle wouldn't want to associate herself, you know, with negativity. All right, and I want to believe that she must have talked to her daughter on several occasions, and her daughter probably didn't show any remorse or wouldn't want to change, and it got to this point, and she wouldn't want to. You don't blame her. If that's what the interpretation of her body language was. But if she did that specifically to protect her brand and uphold her dignity, her action leaves much to be desired.
So you're saying she is on the right path?
Yes.
Oh,
I painted two pictures, one here and one there. If she did it because the daughter didn't want to listen to her, and it got to this point.
Because there are two motives, or there are two possible motives.
Okay.
She could have done it because people are saying you're not talking, you're just keeping mute, your daughter is misbehaving, you're not even trying to.
She felt she wasn't part of whatever is happening to her.
Yeah, she could do it from that motive, and then she could also do it from the other motive, which is to say, no, this is not me, this is not my image.
Yes.
So the right stance would be the motive of her saying, this is not me, this is not my image, I have to dissociate myself from it. But if she's doing it from, oh, I don't want people to say I'm not talking, I'm not that, then we're still saying the same thing. Like, the issue still stands. It means that she's not against what the girl is doing, and maybe behind closed doors she's telling the girl, whoa, I just did that so that people will not talk, eh? Just, do you get what I'm saying? So it goes beyond putting out that disclaimer that she's no more, I'm not associated with the brand and all that. She also has to take some more drastic measures, in my opinion. I know that, yes, you're the mother, you should love your daughter through thick and thin, but when situations like this arise, why not hand her over to the authorities?
It's
because you said some people,
it's more difficult for them.
You recall there's this guy, I can't remember his name now, who had some terrorist tendencies, whose parents actually reported to the authorities. You recall that?
What's his name?
Is one
Abdullah or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When his parents reported him to the authorities, they helped them to take caution, and then lives were saved. But look at this situation. Billions of millions of naira have gone down the drain, no accountability and all that. So if she herself, because we've heard, I don't know how true it is, there have been allegations that Ireti Doyle protected her in the past when people reported her to the authorities.
I didn't get that bet.
That's why I said it's an allegation. I don't know if it's confirmed yet. So in this situation, what she should do is to hand her over, because we're not talking about thousands, even if it were thousands of naira, there are people's hard-earned cash. So she should hand the girl over to the authorities. I know it's not easy, but what choice does she have now?
Yeah. All right, now looking at it from another point of view now, in our normal society, everyday lifestyle, as a parent, how far can parents really go for their children? And being the fact that some children are really maybe would I use the word, they don't listen. I don't want to use the word rebellious now, but they don't listen. Your parent tells you this, you do this, and when they fall into trouble, you come back to your parents. So in that case, is it enough discipline to say you go into trouble? I can remember when I was growing up, I wouldn't want to narrate that. My dad would always say that, I'm telling you, do not go out doing sanitation. Like on Saturdays in Port Harcourt, then every first Saturday they had sanitation from this time to this time. I like to do road work. He said, if they arrest you, don't call me. And he wasn't joking. I have told you, don't step out the sanitation. If they arrest you or if they pick you, don't call me. We thought it was a joke. One day they nearly picked my other sister. Well, it was nearly. And my father said, if you had called me, you would have stayed there. So in that issue, we didn't say he's being a very tough father or he's being a very disciplined father. So how far can parents go for their children?
It's the place of discipline. Yes, there's the line. Some people cross the line and then overdo it, and then the child feels unloved and all that. But when the child, okay, someone was telling me the story of how when she was younger, on a particular day, she stole from her mother, and that day the mother sat her down in the room and ensured that she didn't go out. She went through all manner of measures to ensure that the message is passed. Now some parents in that kind of situation may have to inflict injuries on the child. That is some extreme measures, but measures like you just said, you have been warned. If you go out and misbehave, it's on you. So, it's just that parenting is actually very tough, because you see well-groomed parents, you see parents who are disciplined, who have all it takes to raise good children, and then there's just that one bad black sheep in the family. Even after everything, even, pastors, clerics, raising great children, and then you just see there's just that one child that is not conforming. So it's really not totally. That's why they say when your parents raise you, when they instill all the disciplines and all the godly doctrines and everything in you, it's now your own path, your own road to now
decide to
imbibe and follow those
Wouldn't
steps.
you think it's a failure on the part of the parents when your child misbehaves and keeps misbehaving? Like the saying goes, like son, like father, like son, daughter, mother. The child who behaves negatively must have copied or followed the line of either of the parents. You don't buy that.
I'll allow Bolade to answer before I answer.
Okay. What do you have to say to that?
I just said it, that no matter what you do as a parent, you'd pray, you'd ensure that that's not even going to towing the path of some parents who are bad outrightly. Some parents don't even deserve to be parents, because the children follow what they see and not what you tell them. So if you tell a child, don't lie, and you're always lying, your child would take that thing that you do and not what you're telling the child. And so a lot of parents do that saying of do what I say, not do what I do. But the child is doing what you are doing. He might not do it when you're watching, but he's doing it in his closet, in her closet. So it's beyond what you say to the child. It goes beyond what you preach. It is now what you practice. How do you treat their father? How do you treat their mother? Those are things they are watching.
In their presence.
Yes, in their presence. And those are things, the culture that would groom them till they get to that stage where you can no longer break them. So it starts from the scratch.
Yeah, and also you asked if don't she think it's failure on the part of the parents if the child misbehaves and keep misbehaving. The truth here is parenting is, like she said, it's really very tough, and then there's no manual to a good parenting, because you think you're a good parent, but for some other child, you cannot be a perfect parent for them. And for that parent, you're not good enough to be a parent. It's not the same. So a child who has misbehaved, there's some parents that go extra mile. Imagine you sell your landed properties to ensure your child goes to school. He goes to school. You've spoken to him. He knows the background he's coming from, how, so buoyant. You do all you can. send this child to school. The child goes into school and now decides to be a cultist. And he is expelled from school. Would you say that's failure on the parents' part?
Yes, because probably the parents were not taking very good care, monitoring the child's activities and the kind of company he or she keeps. How much monitoring
can a parent?
Especially when the child is far away.
How much can you, even from childhood?
You get in touch with the teachers or lecturers, really? As the case may be.
In a public university. You know, Michael schooled in those days,
yes.
so it was quite easy.
It was quite easier, but I don't think some parents have done their best. Even some parents think they have amazing children. They think their children are all saints. They think their children are from parents who are Christians think their children are all Christians. Now that the same children that tell you they are going to church and you are monitoring them leaving your house and they are actually in church, what are they even doing in church? They are the ones who are collecting people's biscuits or that at the back. You can't be everywhere your child is. Some children have decided to be wayward.
And then I think that goes to show that really, beyond what you can imbibe in the physical, you also have to do a serious spiritual work.
Exactly.
Pray, seriously. I'm not trying to be so...
But that's the truth.
Spiritual here, but
okay,
really,
now,
there are some things you can't do by yourself.
Generally speaking, I would think that viewed biblically, biologically, a child during pregnancy, for instance, is attached to the mother by one channel, the umbilicus. That umbilical cord shows how close the child is to the mother, for instance. And that means that that cord, even when it is cut off and both of them are separated, is still existing there. You know, somehow, and that should keep on existing till death do them part, if you ask me. Meaning, a mother should stick to the child, irrespective of the circumstances or the seriousness of the case. Stand by your child.
Yes, and I believe that she can stand by the child while this disclaimer is out there. The disclaimer is to let people know that I do not support this fraudulent act, but I will still do all that I can to ensure that she pays for her crimes. And you know, as I said earlier, another way to do this, or one major way to do this, is to involve the authorities by herself. And that way doesn't mean she's not still standing.
No, I think indirectly she's already done that, you know, by advising those customers whose money they whose money.
But do you think those customers haven't been doing that before? Do you think they've not been doing that?
They have. There was even a case
of
somebody being arrested. Somebody who works for the lady being arrested. The lady just found them somewhere and immediately called the police and they got arrested.
So what difference do you think this statement by Ireti Doyle would make? If they have been taking those steps before, what difference do you think Ireti Doyle's statement would make?
At least it's come to the open. The whole world now knows what is going on and of course have added whatever they want to say. Now, talking about that catchy lady, I think she didn't just relax or she didn't just decide she wasn't going to pay. I gathered from some sources that she had already started paying some people and promised to pay the rest who hadn't been taken care of. It's not like she decided I wasn't going to pay at all. And if that is the case, I wouldn't think this case is going to go that far. You know, if she explains it and proves that she had been paying some people and looking for more money to pay the rest, I think she's been on the right track.
But if she had been paying, I don't think it would have been this escalated, because a lot of people are saying that the most important thing, or what is even making them angry, is the fact that she doesn't even respond. She blocks them off anytime they try to make demands and ask for their products or their money. So the main issue is that she's not even responsive and she's not paying. You say you heard, and you
wouldn't think she was doing that, probably because she has not got the money yet.
But why did she open the money? Why did she open a fraudulent business in the first place?
Exactly. That's
what's the motive? Okay, why pay when you could have avoided. I'm an advocate for avoiding
why
issues.
receive the money?
Why receive if you know it's not genuine? You shouldn't have even started it.
I wasn't with her. It's not.
But
like
you
I'm
are
speaking.
playing the devil's advocate.
No, okay, but then, looking at another part of this now, in society today, like you said, the good child is the father's child. The bad child is, woman, look at what your child has done. But when the child is good, oh, my child and woman, well pleased. And I'm sure some people may know this lady's father, but they are not even talking about him.
Exactly.
So why do you think it is the society has made the women so, or rather I'm trying not to go into one angle, but then this is it. Why do you think it's like this? The society has made it like your mother is responsible when the child acts badly. When the girl child is disrespectful, is the mother. When the girl child is or maybe the boy child goes to join back gang, the mother didn't train him well. When he mother. Two people came together to produce this child.
You know, and I said that earlier too. It's the kind of society we're in, a patriarchal society. So everything good goes to the man, everything bad goes to the woman.
I don't buy that idea one bit. No, I don't buy that idea. See, the father takes care of the house, and the mother takes care of the home.
Interesting.
Do you understand? Most of the times you see the father out there toiling to make sure he provides.
And the mother doesn't?
No, wait a minute. No, it's now beginning to shift.
Not beginning.
No. The fact still remains this.
The main thing right now.
The fact still remains that the mother should take care of the home. And who makes up the home? The mother, the children, especially when the father is not there.
So who made that rule that the mother should take care of the home? Can't they both do the taking care of the home? But since they both work to bring back to the table.
There's no argument over there. Both of them definitely should jointly take care of the children.
No, I'm taking you up on your statement.
Yes.
You said the mother should take care of the home. And I'm asking, who made the rules that the mother should take care of the home? Why can't the mother and the father take care of the home, since they both bring bread to the table?
That is what is happening now, and that should be encouraged, if you ask me.
What should be encouraged?
That is both mother and father.
That's
providing for the family and taking care of the home.
That they both, the mother and the father, should be the ones in the media.
But in the case of Ireti Doyle, I think it's because she's a popular figure.
And she also, what's it called, endorsed the product at the beginning.
I'm not talking about that.
Oh, okay.
Most members of the public know Ireti Doyle. Most do not know her husband. So I think that's the reason. No, this is the one we know. Or how come you were there and such a thing is happening to your daughter, which is contrary to what you stand for and stuff like that. I think that's the reason. It's not because she's a woman. If the husband had been in that position,
we
probably.
know that
I'm just trying to.
Women are usually at the receiving end most times when things like this happen.
Do you have any evidence to prove this?
There are so many.
Before we start doing the court of law thing, that we don't have so much time, but finally, we have celebrities who have carved a niche for their children, and their children now enjoy from the name. Have the likes of our Nigerian legend Fela Anikulapo Kuti, who, if you are a Kuti in Nigeria, there are some places you know. Kuti, they ask, are you Fela's daughter, Fela's granddaughter, or you know? So celebrities like that, we have so many celebrities these days who are living maybe carefree life. Everybody just wants to do everything. Well, the part of carving it for their children, I do not know if they still consider that part. The fact that they would be parents today. I mentioned Fela because there's some. Fela was a popular Nigerian singer, and right now they're having collaboration. It's a yearly thing. Now his children now enjoy that thing because he carved the niche for himself, which his children are part of it now. So, but celebrities these days, do you think they are towing in that line?
When you say celebrities,
some celebrities.
Well, from what we have right now, especially when you talk about music artists, you see that the content they put out there is really not what you want to pass down to your children. Imagine someone supporting what's it called? There's this latest song released by
Okay.
Don't mention names here.
Okay, okay. There was one who even that created a trend where you have to waste alcohol on yourself and all that.
Okay.
Tell me what kind of generation that kind of celebrity would raise. What would it be passing down that when you're sad you take alcohol?
That one is even far. You're talking about the ones who is telling you school is a scam, we don't use belts.
Exactly.
So people come and say they follow him, they don't use belts, they don't go to school.
So you have your answer. You have your answer. What kind of generation would they be raising?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.